And then when we don't do something about it, things just get worse, and they get worse faster than we thought was possible. You know,
Daisy, would you advance again, please?
When we first started to talk with you, I think we've talked about this. You know, when I was a graduate student back in the 80s, I chose climate change and carbon cycle as two things that I thought were important to look at because I knew they'd be important problems. But I was convinced at that time that we would have done something about climate change. We would have done something about carbon emissions. I didn't think at that time we'd ever get to 400 parts per million CO2.
Well, we did do something about it. We made it worse.
Yeah, no, and you know, the reality is we've just sort of continued on a growth pathway that, you know, is, we all know it's you know, it won't end well if we keep doing what we're doing. And yet we just keep doing it.
So this is a map of projection of the Gulf of Mexico in 2040. And based on the map we looked at earlier about dead zones, my guess would be that this is pretty much what we're going to do to most of the ocean if we follow our present trajectory by 2040, which is that you will have lots of built infrastructure, shadowing things like mussels and clams and oysters and so on. You'll have what is not shown here, but invasive species such as European green crabs, vastly oversimplifying the food chain. You'll have ocean dead zones, the lost species and habitat, which would include birds and most sea mammals, I would guess. So here's my question.